the question. You should know where you got stuck, so that when the solution is shown to you, when the hint is given to you, you can मुझसे ही तो चैट कर रहा है, मुझे ही बता रहा है कि मुझसे नहीं चैट कर पा रहा है. How can that be possible? You can now chat. So you should always attempt the problems, right, irrespective of the fact whether you get them or not. So some problems are straightforward, some problems require some thought, some problems require a lot of thought, and I'll show you how to navigate through these problems. Right? But before we do that, whatever I had discussed in the last class and something new I want to discuss today. Let me get that out of the way first. So, if you remember, now it is open now. So if you remember that when you were in class, I think 6th or maybe 5th, I don't know, your teacher taught you the concept of algebra, right? So what is the basic concept of algebra? The basic concept of algebra is that if you do not know a number, then you assume the number to be x, right? So it is something like let the number that you do not know, let the number is equal to x. And then you can have or you can perform arithmetic operations of addition, multiplication, division, subtraction on this assumed number. And if some conditions are given, then possibly you can also find this number, right? So I am sure that at some point of time, you would have been given a question like so you would have been given a question like solve the following equation: 3x minus 6 is equal to 0, right? And this is very easy. This is very, very simple. You add 6 to both sides and you divide by 3, you get the answer, right? So do you remember? I hope everybody remembers this, that this is the way that algebra was introduced to you in class, right? And as you move ahead in your class, then the expressions involving this unknown number x became more and more complicated. So, for example, in class 10th, you would have been given an equation like x square minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Solve this. Right? So this would have been something that would have been given to you in class 10th. Right? Take a minute, just a minute. So you can easily solve this. You can solve this by factorization. You can solve this by other methods. You can solve this by applying the quadratic formula, right? Now in class 11th, you'll be given more complicated expressions, right? So you'll be dealing with uh, something like maybe like this, right? Okay. So you don't know how to solve this yet, but you will. And in fact, in one topic, no, yeah, zero would be one of the solutions, but there are multiple solutions here. In fact, there would be an infinite number of solutions. So we'll be using this. We'll be using this equation somewhere in physics also. So the point is that if you know, if you don't know, sorry, if you don't know a number, right, then you assume it to be equal to x or y or z or alpha or beta or any other variable, a non-number that you can think of, right? So I'm not really interested in solving these equations. What I am interested is in these guys, right? These are algebraic trigonometric structures involving the variable x, involving the unknown number x, right? So this guy, and this guy, they are algebraic structures. I can call them algebra. I will call them algebraic, but they may have trigonometric terms. They may have exponential terms. They may have logarithmic terms. Now you may not understand what is an exponential term or what is a logarithmic term as yet, but you will. Okay, it is going to be taught to you in maths class, so don't worry about it. I will call everything algebraic. So any mathematical structure involving the unknown variable x, right, is, I'm going to call it an algebraic expression or algebraic structure of the variable x, right? So this is an algebraic structure of the variable x, right? Okay, so the thing that I want to teach you, the thing that I want you to understand today is that if you do not know a number, then you assume it to be x, okay? This much you already know. But what would happen if you do not know an algebraic expression of x? Okay, please try to understand. A single unknown number can be assumed to be represented by the letter x or any other letter that you choose. However, an algebraic structure involving this letter x or whatever letter you have chosen, right, may also be unknown. Okay, so if an unknown number is represented by, if an unknown number is represented by a letter, right, so we have an unknown number is equal to x, then an unknown algebraic structure or expression of x is written as, is assumed to be this, and this is read as f of x or function of x, right? So this is read as f of x, or it is read as function of x, right? So if you have an unknown number, you already know this, it is assumed to be x. But if you have an unknown algebraic structure involving x, then it is fx, right? So what is fx? Well, fx can be 3x minus 6, fx can be x square minus 5x plus 6, fx can be tan x minus x, fx can be any algebraic structure that you can think of, or any algebraic structure that I can think of. So this is a new notation, right? And why did mathematicians invent this notation? I'll also tell you that in a moment. So please understand that f of x, function of x, is it represents an unknown algebraic structure of x. So if I tell you that assume that Mr. A's age is X, right? So instantly in your mind, there is a recognition that Mr. A's age must be a number, right? And this number is unknown, therefore it has been assumed to be this algebraic quantity x, right? In exactly the same way, I can say that the relationship between the unknown temperature x and time t is that temperature is a function of time. Temperature is f of t, okay? Or I can say that the नहीं कोई factor theorem नहीं कोई और theorem नहीं है इसमें, no other theorem, nothing else is involved. Okay, all I'm saying is that there is a relationship between two variables, right? The speed of the car varies with time. Okay, the speed of the car varies with time. So speed is equal to a function of time. I don't know how it varies. Okay, I have no idea how it is varying with time, but it is dependent on time. जैसे जैसे समय बदलता है वैसे वैसे speed बदलता है. No, you cannot say that speed depends on value of. It may depend on value of time. It may not depend on value of time. Right? I don't know. Nobody knows. There is a car which is moving on the road, and unless I go and measure, I don't know whether the speed is constant or it is varying with time. I have no idea. And when I have no idea, I'll just say that speed is equal to f of t, right? So if we have a car moving on a road, right, and the velocity of the car is v, so I can say that v is equal to some function of time. What is that function? I don't know. Okay? That is why this thing is used, right? Yeah. Okay, so why was this notation invented in the first place? Like I told you, that what mathematicians and physicists want to do is that they want to shorten things. They want to write things in brevity. They want things to be brief, right? Nobody likes to write long sentences, right? So mathematicians and physicists have invented symbols which shorten what you are going to write. For example, can anybody tell me maths में इसका क्या मतलब होता है? याद है किसी को? Anybody remembers? Yes. So this is equal to belongs to, right? So the number x belongs to, if I write something like this, then does it make sense? Does this make sense? What I have written? Does this statement make sense to you? It says that x belongs to the set of real numbers, right? X is a real number. So yeah. So imagine writing this down. The variable x is belonging to the set of real numbers. You don't want to do that, right? इतना lengthy कुछ नहीं लिखना, छोटा सा लिख दिया. So if I have a table, right, and remember that I'm doing this from the day one, and the reason that I'm doing this from day one, I'm drawing tables from day one. The reason that I'm drawing tables is that this is the way to study physics, right? I mean, अगर मेरे को कार की velocity as a function of time नहीं मालूम है, तो I will go out with a stopwatch in my hand and with a speed measuring device in my hand, and whenever my stopwatch goes to I don't know, multiple of 1 second or 2 seconds or whatever I choose, I will measure the speed of the car, right? And I will say that, okay, at t is equal to 0, that is the moment when I started my stopwatch, उसका speed इतना था, t is equal to 1 पे speed इतना था, t is equal to 2 पे speed इतना था, and so on, right? So this is the way that experimental physics is done. And once this table is there in front of us, then we can extract relationships between the two variables like we did in the first class. And then we can, go deeper into the relationship by using the methods that we are learning today. So we can find the slope of the graph between the two variables, and that gives us a new physical reality, a new physical object. So, for example, the slope of the distance time graph of the car would give me the speed of the car. And if I were to draw a graph between the velocity and time of the car, then the slope of this graph would give me the acceleration of the car, right? So this drawing the table is very, very important in physics. Okay. So I have now x and I have y. Okay. Remember that this x is called the independent. It is called the independent variable. Okay. And this guy y is called the dependent variable. Okay, so once we have x and y, then x is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and y is something. I don't know what it is. Okay, I don't know what it is. But if the relationship between y and x is y is equal to f of x, right? So what am I saying when I write this statement? I am saying that, look, y and x are related to each other. Okay, there is some algebraic expression of x which gives you y. What is that expression? I don't know, but there is definitely an expression between x and y. Okay, so the unknown expression of x I will assume to be f of x, right? And then what I do is the value of y when x is equal to 0 is f of 0. Right? This is the way to write. So here we will have f of 0. The value of y when x equal to 1 is f of 1, right? Please notice the way that I'm speaking. Okay, f of 0, f of 1, f of x. So here we will have f of 4, and similarly here, similarly here, similarly here, similarly. So instead of giving you a table, right? Instead of drawing this table, what I can do is I can take this complete table and I can replace this table by a simple set of statements that f of 0 is equal to something, f of 1 is equal to something, right? F of 2 is equal to something, right? So instead of the table, I can actually give you the same piece of information, the same information in a set of statements. Okay? डाउट है किसी को? Anybody has a doubt? डाउट है तेरे को? नहीं? ओके. चलो, सो अभी आगे बढ़ते हैं, राइट? हाँ, so we have right. So we have seen how this f of this thing works, right? Now let's move ahead. So if we have y is equal to x square plus 3, right? Yeah. Then tell me the value of f of 0. So what is the meaning of f of 0? F of 0 y का क्या वैल्यू जब x का वैल्यू 0 होगा, राइट? y का वैल्यू क्या होएगा जब x का वैल्यू 0 है? तो मैंने एक्चुअली कुछ नया नहीं पढ़ाया, मैं वही पुरानी बातें कर रहा हूं, लेकिन मैंने क्या किया है कि I have introduced a new notation, right? And this is what you really have to remember. So what is f of 1? Yeah, absolutely right. F of 1 will be equal to 4, right? What is f of minus 1? It is also equal to 4. Yes? अगर किसी को नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, just raise your hand. I will unmute and you can ask me. Okay? Don't keep it within. ऐसा मत करना कि अपने अंदर रखे हैं, यहाँ मैं बाद में समझ लूंगा. Please, अभी समझना है जो भी समझना. हाँ, देखो ये आया. हाँ भाई बताओ, क्या डाउट है?
f of minus 1 4 कैसे है?
हाँ,
f of minus 1 4 कैसे है?
x की जगह -1 रखो भाई.
अच्छा, हाँ, ओके ओके, हाँ समझा.
हाँ, गुड गुड. चलो okay. So I hope now the thing is understood. All you have to do, ब्रैकेट के अंदर जो मैंने लिखा है ना, वो x की जगह लिख देना, राइट? तो ये हमको एक y और x के बीच में रिलेशन दिया हुआ है, अब जो ब्रैकेट के अंदर मैं लिखूंगा, यहाँ पे मैंने 0 लिखा, यहाँ पे 1 लिखा, यहाँ पे -1 लिखा, जो भी मैं लिखूंगा उसको x की जगह सब्स्टिट्यूट कर देना, राइट? ओके, so what will be f of x minus 1? नहीं, गलत, x plus 2 नहीं होएगा. What will be f of x minus 1? Whatever we have done in the previous 3 steps, you do it in the 4th step. What will be f of x minus 1? Yes, absolutely right. Yes. Yes. Don't have to expand. I mean, you can expand, but you don't really have to expand. Yes. So this will be x की जगह मैं x minus 1 लग दूंगा. So this will be equal to x minus 1 whole square plus 3. Right? You can choose to expand if you wish. I do not choose to expand. I leave it like this. What would be f of 1 by x? What would be f of 1 by x? Yeah. Okay. So all I have to do now is I have to take this guy, whatever is here, and I have to substitute it here. Right? I have to substitute it here. So this is very easy now, I hope. 1 by x square plus 3. What is f of there is no difference between whatever we have done previously and what I have written now. Okay, so this is read as f of x. Okay, this is read as f of x. इसका क्या आंसर होएगा? हमें x की जगह क्या लिखना है? हमें x की जगह f of x लिखना है, राइट? किसी को कंफ्यूजन नहीं होना चाहिए. हमें x की जगह ये लिखना है, right? So if I have to write this, or if I have to substitute this, here, यहाँ पे, what will I get? I will get x square plus 3 whole square plus 3. ये आया सबको समझ में? Everybody should be understanding. F नहीं लिखना है बच्चा. F की कहानी खत्म हो. लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में F लिखेंगे, राइट हैंड साइड में F नहीं आना चाहिए. राइट हैंड साइड में केवल X का एक्सप्रेशन आना चाहिए, राइट? ये आया? हाँ, बिल्कुल सही. ये आया सबको समझ में? Everybody is understanding f of x. What have I done? क्योंकि देखो ना, एक्सप्रेशन क्या है? y is equal to x square plus 3 है ना, तो x की जगह हम क्या लिख रहे हैं? x square plus 3. ये x की जगह आप लिखो x square plus 3. x को अगर आप रिप्लेस करोगे x square plus 3 से, तो आपके पास आएगा x square plus 3 whole square plus 3. हाँ, if you expand, you can expand if you want. I will leave it like this. ये आया? सबको समझ में आया? I hope. If you are not understanding, please raise your hand. X square plus 3 is y, which is equal to fx, right? x square plus 3 is y, which is equal to f of x, right? So this quantity y is f of x, right? f of x must be हाँ बच्चा बोल
सर मतलब एफ ऑफ एक्स में हमें होल एक्सप्रेशन लिखना है।
f of x मतलब y is equal to f of x.
Okay.
जो f of x है क्या? It is an algebraic structure of x, right? In this case, it is known. It is given to us. It is given to us, and its structure is x square plus 3. अब मेरे को किसी ने बोला कि f of x निकालो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, मैं x की जगह f of x लिख दूंगा. f of x क्या है? x square plus 3 है.
ओके
x square plus 3 में x की जगह x square plus 3 लिख दिया.
ओके सर।
सर हमने एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस 3 को वापस से स्क्वायर क्यों किया है?
क्या क्या फिर से बताओ.
सर एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस 3 को वापस से स्क्वायर क्यों किया है?
चलो तो मैं आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूँ, आप आंसर बताओ. f of x क्या है?
एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस 3
f of 0 क्या है?
3
कैसे आया?
सर वैल्यू पुट करके एक्स की जगह 0 रख के
x की जगह क्या रखा?
0
f of 2 क्या होगा?
7
7 होएगा. कैसे आया?
हाँ सर एक्स को स्क्वायर किया तो आया.
अब f of x स्क्वायर प्लस 3 क्या होएगा?
हाँ तो सर हम लोग एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस 3 को स्क्वायर करेंगे इसलिए आया.
वही मैं पूछ रहा हूँ ना. f of x स्क्वायर प्लस 3 कितना होएगा? तो f of 0 के लिए आपने कुछ किया, राइट?
यस सर.
f of 2 जब मैंने पूछा तो you did something, you carried out some mathematical operation, right? And according to you, the mathematical operation was that instead of x, or you substituted the value of x as 0 in the first case, 2 in the first case.
Yes sir.
Now I'm asking you what is f of x square plus 3. So you are going to do the same thing, right?
Yes sir. Okay sir, I understood.
आया ना समझ में?
हाँ सर.
Okay.
Thank you sir.
हाँ भाई, क्या डाउट है? ये 39 अनम्यूट ही नहीं हो रहा है. डाउट है 39 पर?
नहीं सर, कोई डाउट नहीं, मतलब
ओके. तो हाँ ये आया ना, यहाँ पे सबको समझ में आ गया. Just for fun, okay? Just for fun. f of x. हाँ भाई, क्या होएगा? आ ही नहीं रहा, किसी को नहीं आ रहा ये. हेलो
सर आंसर होगा एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस 3 होल स्क्वायर प्लस 3 होल स्क्वायर प्लस 3.
गुड, वेरी नाइस. हाँ जी, हेलो. So I hope everybody is getting this. So it is a function of this. But we've already worked out this, right? I mean, यही तो है ना ये expression. So the answer should be x square plus 3 whole square plus 3 whole square plus 3. क्या किया मैंने? What have I done? I just took this expression and I substituted here in this x. Right? This is f of x. Okay, now if f of x is equal to x square plus 3, just like before, and g of x is equal to, g कैसे आ गया? ये क्या है? Just like if you do not know a number, it is assumed to be x, right? Now comes along another number, एक और unknown number आ गया, तो अब आप उसको x तो नहीं assume करोगे, आप बोलोगे कि ये y है. फिर एक और नंबर आ गया तो उसको आप y नहीं assume करोगे, आप बोलोगे z है. तो उसी तरीके से अगर हमारे पास एक अननोन एक्सप्रेशन है, उसकी वैल्यू हमने अज्यूम की हुई है f ऑफ x, और एक और अननोन एक्सप्रेशन आ गया, या इन दिस केस नोन एक्सप्रेशन आ गया, तो उसकी वैल्यू हम अज्यूम करेंगे g ऑफ x, राइट? इसके आगे क्या होएगा? h ऑफ x, सो ऑन, राइट? लेट मी राइट इट हियर. यहाँ पे लिख देता हूँ. So other functions may be g of x, h of x, so on. So f of x is x square plus 3. हाँ, g is also function, yes. हाँ, f से start करते हैं, जैसे unknown number x से start करते हैं, हम g से f से start करते हैं, but आप a b c d कुछ भी ले सकते हो, कोई problem नहीं है. As long as you are drawing that bracket and putting a variable inside, you can take any letter that you want. Just like in algebra, the standard is x, y, z. तो यहाँ पे the standard is f, g, h. लेकिन algebra में आप a, b, c, d ले सकते हो. यहाँ पे भी आप a, b, c, d, a of x, b of x आप ले सकते हो. कोई problem नहीं. gx is equal to 1 upon x minus 1. What is g of 0? Okay, what is g of x plus 1? हाँ, -1 होएगा g of 0. What is g of x? What is f of g of x? Finally, what is g of f of x? Right, तो g of 0 के लिए अपन क्या करने वाले हैं? g of 0 के लिए ये जो 0 की वैल्यू है ये यहाँ पे पुट कर देंगे. 0 की वैल्यू यहाँ पुट करेंगे तो यहाँ पे आ जाएगा -1. g of x plus 1 क्या होएगा? हम x की जगह x+1 रख देंगे, लेकिन उधर तो -1 भी आया हुआ है, राइट? सो दिस शुड बी इक्वल टू 1/x+1 -1, which is equal to 1/x. g of x क्या हो जाएगा? ये हो जाएगा 1/x की जगह हमें g of x रखना है, तो 1/(1/x -1 -1), राइट? अब मैं इसको और वो एक्सपैंड नहीं कर रहा हूं, यू कैन डू इट वेरी नाइसली. किसी ने किया क्या? g of x किसी ने किया क्या? फिर से बताओ ना मेरे को. हाँ, कितना आएगा? 1/2 - x. नहीं नहीं, ऐसा नहीं, x - 1/2 - x. So this should be equal to x - 1/2 - x, right? और f of g of x क्या आएगा? f of g of x, इसका मतलब कि जहां पे हमारे पास f वाले में x है, वहां पे हमको g रख देना है. हाँ, बिल्कुल सही. तो यहां पे आएगा, the answer will be 1/x - 1 whole square plus 3. और ये g of f of x क्या हो जाएगा? g of f of x निकालने के लिए हमको ये जो भी चीज है, मेरे को आई डोंट केयर व्हाट इट इज, जो भी चीज है इसको हमें उठा के यहां पे रखना है, राइट? हाँ, बिल्कुल सही. हाँ, सो दिस विल बी इक्वल टू 1/x की जगह हमें f of x लिखना है, x² + 3 - 1. ये आया सबको समझ में भाई? एवरीबॉडी इज अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिस? हाँ, सबको समझ में आया? Although we are not going to use this ever, but very interestingly, this thing, ये जो चीज है, इसको बोलते हैं fog x, और ये जो चीज है इसको बोलते हैं GOF. Right? So mathematicians do have a sense of humor. इसको fog x बोलते हैं और इसको GOF x बोलते हैं. हाँ हाँ, सब जो ये सब वही, ये सब लेक्चर नोट्स में है. So what I wanted to do last time was that आप इसको खुद पढ़ के करो. You whatever I am saying, I have written it down already in the lecture notes. If you read the lecture notes, you will find that whatever I am saying has already been written down. अच्छा, चलो अब आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, right? Now we are moving ahead. So now we are moving ahead to the process of differentiation. Right? Or finding derivatives. Either you can call it differentiation or you can call it finding derivatives. Some people like to call it finding differential coefficients. But all these big words are absolutely equivalent to what we have already done, that is finding slope. Right? Now you know how to find slope. you have found the slope for almost all the complicated expressions, right? So we were talking last time about the mathematical operators, right? So I would like to revisit this once again, and I would like to expand on what we learned last time. So in the world of mathematical operators, it turns out that sine and cosine, which are having their origins in physical reality, right? So sine of an angle is basically the ratio of two sides of a right angle triangle in which this angle appears. Similarly, cosine is the ratio of two sides of a right angle triangle in which this particular angle occurs. But this is the physical reality. The mathematical reality is that you can treat cosine and sine as mathematical operators which act. Okay, please notice the terminology. So the mathematical operators, they act on an input, and the input in these two cases must be an angle which must be placed to the right of the operator. And when they act on this angle, we get an answer, right? This is the way to look at, or this is the mathematical way to look at sine, cosine, tan, sec, cosec, and cot. There is now there are two things involved with these operators. The first thing involved with these operators is the rules of operation, right? So what do I mean by the rules of operation? By the rules of operation, I mean that there are certain rules that are followed. For example, sine of A plus B, okay, it is not equal to sine A plus sine B. It is equal to sine A cosine B plus, मैं dot 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 लिख दे रहा हूँ, but you know what it is. Already we have discussed this, right? So this is a rule of operation, and many students, they get this wrong because they are still hanging on to the basic algebraic operations that we carry out. तो कई स्टूडेंट क्या करते हैं कि अच्छा साइन ए प्लस बी है, ब्रैकेट है, तो ब्रैकेट तो हमने बहुत बचपन से देखा है, ब्रैकेट को तो खोला जा सकता है, तो यहाँ पे ब्रैकेट को खोल दिया, साइन ए प्लस बी इज इक्वल टू साइन ए प्लस साइन बी कर दिया, बट दैट इज रॉन्ग. So this expression is a rule of operation of the operator. So what this is telling you is that if you were to operate this operator sine on A plus B, right? Okay. So if you were to operate this mathematical operator of sine on a sum of angles, then it would not simply be equal to the sine of A plus sine of B. It would not be equal to the sum of the sine of the individual angles, but it would be a complicated expression. It would be equal to sine of the first angle, cosine of the second angle, these two multiplied together, plus the sine of the second angle multiplied by cosine of the first angle, right? Okay. This is a rule of operation. Another rule of operation that you have already seen before is something like sine square A plus cosine square A is equal to 1. Right? This is another rule of operation. अगर आपने साइन ऑपरेट कराया एक एंगल पे, साइन operator acts on angle A, and whatever answer you get, you square it, and then you make the cosine operator act on angle A, right? And whatever answer you get, you square it, and you add these two answers. It is guaranteed that the sum would be 1. Okay? So what do we have? We have rules of operation. Okay? Please be very, very aware of these rules of operation. You don't need to learn it from anywhere, right? But x into sine x cannot be written as sine x square. X into sine x is x into sine x. It is the multiplication of two numbers. One number is x, right? And the other number is sine of x. And sine is the mathematical operator which has acted on the variable x. The second thing we have is the standard. There is a standard table of results, right? Okay, so there is the method of operation or the rules of operation, and there is a standard table of results. So for example, if I ask you what is sine 0, it will be 0. What is sine 30 degrees? It will be equal to half, right? You already know this. And what will be the sine of 37 degrees? ये कौन बताएगा भाई? Sine of 37 degrees. Exactly. थोड़ा गलत हो गया. 4/5 नहीं होएगा. 4/3 भी नहीं होएगा. वो देखा ही नहीं ना. ये क्या आ गया? हाँ, 3/5. So there is a calculator नहीं use करना है 0.64. So there is a very special right angle triangle. Okay? There is a very special right angle triangle, and this right angle triangle is having an angle of 37 degrees here, and this is 53 degrees. And in this case, this side is 4, this side is 3, and this side is 5. Right? So it is called the 3, 4, 5 right angle triangle. It is expected that you will know this. It is expected that this is known to students. Okay. So in an exam, they will not tell you the value of sine 37, cosine 53, tan 37, tan 53. You just have to figure it out. And as promised as before, it is simply the ratio of sides. So sine 37 will be equal to the opposite side over the hypotenuse. So sine 37 must be equal to 3/5. Okay. Similarly, you can find out cosine, sine, cosine, tan, whatever you want. Okay. So no, lengths don't have to remain same. They can lengths of the triangle, they can go up in ratios. So 3, 4, 5 right angle triangle will have 37 degrees and 53 degrees as the two angles. Similarly, a 6, 8, 10 right angle triangle would have the same angles. Right. Similarly, 9, 12, 15 किया ना मैंने, हाँ, would have the same angles, right? तो आप उनको रेशियो में बढ़ाते जाओगे तो same angles रहेंगे. नहीं, ये मुझे समझ में नहीं आया. Any angle can be kept in place of 37 degrees. I could not understand. What do you mean by this? फिर से लिखो. अच्छा, अभी अभी एक मिनट मैन. let me just complete this, then we'll ask for the doubts and then you can tell. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that the mathematical operator has two characteristic features. Number one is the rules of operation, and number two is the standard table of results, right? And you have been torturously exposed to this fact. Remember the multiplication operator. So the rules of operation of the multiplication operator is that you place a number to the left, you place a number to the right, okay, and then you get the answer. And other rules of operation are that if you have a negative number and a positive number, they multiply with each other, you get a negative number. If you have a negative number and a negative number, you multiply them together, you get a positive number, right? And where was it torturous? Remember, आपको स्टैंडर्ड टेबल ऑफ रिजल्ट्स याद करने पड़ते थे मल्टीप्लिकेशन के. तो 2 से लेके 20 तक टीचर बोलते थे 2 से लेके 20 तक टेबल याद होना चाहिए. तो 17 1 17, 17 2 34, मेरे को तो याद भी नहीं है. बट ठीक है भाई, कैमरा ऑन रहने देना, क्या करना है. तो every operator that you have seen has been always associated with rules of operation and a standard table of results, right? So similarly, we have the mathematical operator of d by dx, right? We saw this last time. And how does it operate? What are the basic symbols? D by dx operates, okay, and now since you know the terminology, d by dx operates on a function of x which is kept towards its right, and then the d by dx operator will act on it, okay, and then it will give us an answer. Okay, please notice that this is the exact same statement as saying that sine of 30 degrees is equal to half, right? What has happened? The sine operator has acted upon this 30 degrees and it has given us this answer of half. So d by dx acts on f of x and gives us an answer, right? This is the way this is the way to write, this is the way to think about the d by dx operator, okay? Let me give you some new rules of operation. So the rules of operation of the d by dx operator, remember that whatever I write here, whatever we discuss here is allowed. आप अपने मन से algebraic operations जो आपने सीखे हैं उनको यहाँ पे नहीं अप्लाई कर सकते हो unless and until you are absolutely sure that normal algebra can be carried out. So sine a plus b is not equal to sine a plus sine b, it is something else. You have to be very, very sure. Okay, so the rules of operation is, number one, that if you have or if you are operating d by dx on if you are operating d by dx on the sum of two functions, then this, just like normal algebra, is equal to d by dx of that f of x plus d by dx of the other function. Right? Please don't think of this as expansion of brackets. That is a very wrong way to think. It is not expansion of brackets. It is a rule of operation. Second rule of operation is that d by dx of k into fx is equal to k times d by dx of fx, where k is a constant. Okay, it is just a real number. So these are the two. These are the two rules of operation. Okay. So irrespective of however familiar they may seem, अरे ये तो एक्सपेंशन से यही आएगा, अरे ये तो नंबर मल्टीप्लाई होके इधर, प्लीज फॉरगेट अबाउट दैट. This is the way to look at. This is a rule of operation. Apart from the rule of operation, there is a standard. There is a standard table of results. हाँ, मल्टीप्लिकेशन इनसाइड द ब्रैकेट आएगा, वो अभी हमने देखा नहीं है, उसके लिए एक अलग रूल होता है. It is called the product rule. That is what we are going to discuss in the next lecture. But as usual, you can go to the previous page, right? I mean, all of you, I hope, are able to access any of the pages at any time. आप previous page पे जा सकते हैं. You can go to the previous page, and what I'll do is I'll पिछली बार तो नहीं किया था, but इस बार I will save and I will send you the screenshot as well. But you can do that. Okay, you can do it very easily. These are the rules of operation. Okay. अबे कौन है ये? So the standard table of results, okay, this is what is important. You have to remember this. So number one, d by dx of a constant is equal to 0. Number two, d by dx of x raised to the power n, where एक मिनट मैं ये लिख देता हूँ. Number two, d by dx of x power n is equal to nx n minus 1. N belongs to real numbers, right? Where n is a number. Number three, d by dx of sine x is equal to cosine x. Number 4. Okay, now we are coming to the important bit. Sine of ax plus b is equal to cosine of, sorry, is equal to a into cosine of ax plus b. Okay. Number 5, d by dx of cosine x is equal to minus sine x. Right? Okay. Similarly, d by dx, हाँ ए बाहर आ जाएगा, d by मतलब बाहर भी आएगा अंदर भी रहेगा, तो ऐसा नहीं कि बाहर ले आना है. Cosine of ax plus b is equal to minus a sine of ax plus b. Right? Okay, so I want you to write the standard table of results for, so I have written for sine and cosine. I want you to write for tan, for sec, for cosec, and for cot. Remember, tan x का जो भी आंसर आएगा तो आपको मालूम है, वो तो आपने पहले से डिराइव किया हुआ है. हाँ, लेकिन मेरे को tan of ax plus b का भी चाहिए. राइट, tan of ax plus b का भी चाहिए मुझे. मेरे को sec of ax plus b का भी चाहिए मुझे. सबका चाहिए यहाँ. And I'm not writing it because A, I'm very lazy, and 2, I've already written it. It is already there in your in the booklet, right? सारा ये result जो है वो booklet में दिया हुआ है. Okay. चलो, so हाँ, y is equal to sine 2x कैसे करेंगे? Very good, yes. So y, please notice now, I want to use a different whiteboard. एक minute. Okay, now please notice please see how how to operate. Pen क्यों नहीं काम कर रहा भाई? How to operate. So the question will be, if y is equal to sine of 2x, find. Now please notice, everybody, what I'm going to write here. I am going to write find. I can write the slope, which is familiar to you. or I can write dy by dx, right? What is the exact meaning of dy by dx? We'll study in the next class, but for the moment, it is just an operator which has acted upon y. Okay. Yes, that is the answer. So it is an operator which has acted upon the variable y. Please notice the cosine 2x will not be the answer. Dekho. Y is equal to sine of 2x, right? ठीक है ना? ये तो given है. Can I do this? Answer with a yes or a no. Can I do this? Is this okay? I mean, is this an acceptable mathematical operation? Yes, it is. If you have an equation, you can take the root of both sides. There is no problem whatsoever, right? Can I do this? Can I carry out this operation, which I have just done? Can I carry out this operation? Yes, I can. If there is an equation, I can take the sine of both sides. Still, the answer will be same, right? And you have done it so many times. Theta is equal to 30 degrees, right? You've done it so many times. You operate sine on both sides and you get sine theta is equal to half. Okay? So I can carry out this operation. In exactly the same way, okay, what I can do is I can carry out the operation d by dx on both sides. It should not make a difference. It's the same operation on two sides. An equation, right? So just like under root did not make a difference, just like taking sine on both sides did not make a difference, this will also not make a difference. Now, the object on the left-hand side, is written as dy by dx. Okay, it is called dy by dx. And this dy by dx is equal to d by dx of, right? This is the way to speak. This is the way to read out these things. So dy by dx is equal to d by dx of sine 2x, right? Now what do I do here? d by dx of sine 2x क्या करें? इसको देखने के लिए हम अपने standard table of results पे जाएंगे. And I notice that the d by dx value of sine ax plus b is equal to a cosine ax plus b, where a and b are numbers. So this tells me that d by dx of sine 2x must be equal to 2 cosine 2x. ये आया समझ में सबको? Please see the sequence of events. First, there is a BS0. Yes, we took BS0. How? मैं अभी दिखा रहा हूँ. मैं अभी सब दिखा रहा हूँ. तो please try to understand the sequence of events. I was given an equation. I was given a relationship between y and x. And I was asked to find the slope, or I would be asked to find dy by dx, or I would be asked to differentiate this, or I would be asked to find the derivative of this, or I would be asked to find the differential coefficient of y. Right? These are all same statements, right? So the way to do this is to write the equation and to operate the operator d by dx. अगर यहाँ पे वेरिएबल कुछ और है, अगर ये sin 2t होता, then we would be operating the operator d by dt. Remember that x is just a letter, you can replace it by any other letter. So you operate the operator d by dx on both sides. On the left hand side, when you operate d by dx, you simply end up with dy by dx, which is actually a remnant of m is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, right? Which is nothing but the change in y upon the change in x. And I told you that if this change is very, very small, then we will get dy by dx. Okay? So on the left hand side, you just end up with dy by dx, which is the same as saying this is the slope. And like I said, in the next class, इसको और detail में discuss करेंगे. नहीं भाई, x का कोएफिशिएंट होना चाहिए. dy by dx of sin x को हम x sin x cos x नहीं लिखेंगे. x का कोएफिशिएंट जो आएगा, अगर x का कोएफिशिएंट 1 है तो काम खत्म हो गया. अभी चेन रूल अभी नहीं बताएंगे, अभी चेन रूल अगली क्लास में होगा. So then you take dy by dx on both sides. On the left hand side, you end up with dy by dx, which is nothing but the slope. On the right hand side, you have dy by dx of some expression of x, and using the standard table of results and the rules of operation, you can actually carry out the right hand side. You can simplify the right hand side to a further expression. So d by dx of sine 2x can also be written as 2 cosine 2x. Okay? It is just like saying that y is equal to 30 degrees. So sine y is equal to sine 30 degrees. But wait a minute, sine 30 degrees तो मेरे को मालूम है, sine 30 degrees की वैल्यू तो हाफ होती है, तो मैं लिख सकता हूँ sin y is equal to half. Exactly वही काम मैंने यहाँ किया है, sin की जगह d by dx लिया होगा. Okay. So another question. Y is equal to x square plus 5 root x. Okay. Find dy by dx. So कैसे करेंगे भाई? तो d by dx is operated on, हाँ बिल्कुल सही, is operated on both sides. तो मेरे पास ये इक्वेशन है, राइट? मेरे पास ये इक्वेशन है. Left hand side simply becomes dy by dx. On the right hand side, I have d by dx of the sum of two functions. So the right hand side can now become d by dx of x square plus d by dx of 5 root x. So I get dy by dx is equal to d by dx of x square. लेकिन यहाँ पे तो एक नंबर मल्टीप्लाइड है, ये नंबर मल्टीप्लाइड है रूट एक्स से, तो आई कैन राइट दिस एज 5 d by dx of root x. Please don't confuse this with sin 5x. Sin 5x में x के साथ 5 मल्टीप्लाइड है, आपके फंक्शन के साथ 5 मल्टीप्लाइड नहीं। यस, एंड नाउ वी गो बैक टू आवर स्टैंडर्ड टेबल ऑफ रिजल्ट्स। कहाँ गया स्टैंडर्ड टेबल ऑफ रिजल्ट्स? ये रहा। एंड वी सी दैट x पावर n का d by dx is equal to nx n minus 1. So we have, इसका आंसर आएगा 2x plus 5 into x पावर हाफ, और x पावर हाफ हो जाएगा n x n minus 1. So this is 2x plus 5 upon 2 root x. Right? Remember, x power half minus 1 is x power minus half, और x power minus half का मतलब होता है 1 over root x. Right? So this is how you are going to find हाँ देखो ना, ये है ना हमारा स्टैंडर्ड टेबल ऑफ रिजल्ट। तो द क्वेश्चन इज कि वो साइन 2x के डिफरेंशिएशन में 2 कोसाइन 2x कैसे आया, एंड द आंसर इज दैट d by dx ऑफ साइन ax plus b इज इक्वल टू a कोसाइन ax plus b। तो अगर a का वैल्यू 2 हो जाएगा तो यहाँ पे 2 आएगा, यहाँ पे भी 2 आएगा। आया समझ में ये? इज दिस अंडरस्टूड? अगर a का वैल्यू 2 है तो d by dx ऑफ साइन 2x plus 0 इज इक्वल टू 2 इंटू कोसाइन ऑफ 2x plus 0। x पावर माइनस हाफ इज 1 over root x। x पावर माइनस हाफ इज 1 over root x। ये आपने क्लास 9th में सीखा था जब एक्सपोनेंट सिखाया गया। ओके, सो क्या हो गया भैया, तुम लोग को एक्सपोनेंट नहीं आता? एक्सपोनेंट तो सबको आना चाहिए। एक मिनट रुको, बता रहा हूं। x power minus half is equal to 1 over x power half is equal to 1 over root x. X power minus 2 by 3 is equal to 1 over x power 2 by 3 is equal to, और कौन ड्रॉ कर रहा है भाई, is equal to 1 over cube root of x square। तो ये स्टैंडर्ड ये स्टैंडर्ड मैथमेटिकल लॉ ऑफ एक्सपोनेंट्स है जो यू शुड बी नोइंग। सो आई विल स्टॉप हियर। साइन 5x का डेरिवेटिव क्या होएगा बताओ? साइन 5x का डेरिवेटिव होएगा 5 कोसाइन 5x। साइन x स्क्वायर का डेरिवेटिव क्या होगा? हाँ, ये बढ़िया क्वेश्चन पूछा, फाइनली किसी ने क्वेश्चन अच्छा पूछा। गुड, वेरी गुड। So how do I find d by dx of sine square x? Well, I don't have any idea because sine square x does not exist on my table, right? मैंने जो आपको स्टैंडर्ड टेबल ऑफ रिजल्ट बताया और जो स्टैंडर्ड टेबल ऑफ रिजल्ट आपके बुकलेट में है उसमें कहीं पे साइन स्क्वायर एक्स अपीयर नहीं हो रहा है, लेकिन हमारे पास स्टैंडर्ड टेबल ऑफ रिजल्ट में साइन एक्स प्लस बी है, और हमारे पास स्टैंडर्ड टेबल ऑफ रिजल्ट में और क्या है, कोसाइन ax plus b है, right? Okay, so what I want you to do then is to find the value of d by dx of sine x square. We want to convert this thing into something which does exist in our table, right? Something which is there in our table. So what is there already in our table? Cosine 2x and sine 2x. How can I convert this sine square x into that? So I remember the identity that I have, cosine a plus b is equal to cosine a cosine b minus sine a sine b. Now what would happen if I were to put a is equal to b is equal to x? Right? I would get cosine of 2x is equal to cos square x minus sin square x. लेकिन अब cos square x को कैसे लिख सकते हैं? 1 minus sin square x minus sin square x. This is equal to 1 minus 2 sin square x. So cosine of 2x is equal to 1 minus 2 sin square x. Therefore, what is sin square x? What is sin square x? Well, now I can write this d by dx of the value of sin square x. And the value of sin square x is 1 minus cosine 2x whole divided by 2. Right? And this now reduces to something which I can do. Okay? Therefore, last time I gave you the homework of lectures 1 and 2. मैंने lecture 2 नहीं पढ़ाया था, right? And I wanted you to read the lecture and do the questions, as many as you can. Now I have taught lecture 2, okay? What you are going to do is do the sums. Those of you who could not do, lecture 2 के सारे question करने हैं आज, और lecture 3 खुद पढ़ के करना है उसके सारे questions. हाँ, तो lecture 3, you read lecture 3. नहीं, एक मिनट, हाँ मैं सारे डाउट बता रहा हूँ, एक मिनट रुको. हाँ भाई बताओ.
सर
कहाँ गया भाई डाउट?
लेक्चर 2 में एक्सप्लिसिट एंड इम्प्लिसिट फंक्शंस थे सर, वो आप एक्सप्लेन करोगे?
क्या था, फिर से बताओ बच्चा.
एक्सप्लिसिट एंड इम्प्लिसिट फंक्शंस.
अच्छा, एक्सप्लिसिट एंड इम्प्लिसिट फंक्शन चाहिए ना. हाँ, तो एक्सप्लिसिट एंड इम्प्लिसिट फंक्शन जो है बहुत इजी होता है. अगर हमने y इज इक्वल टू 3x माइनस 1 लिखा है, राइट? हेलो, कहाँ गई? अगर हमने y इज इक्वल टू 3x माइनस 1 लिखा है तो हम डेफिनेटली इसका सब्जेक्ट चेंज कर सकते हैं और हम लिख सकते हैं x इज इक्वल टू y प्लस 1 होल अपॉन 3, राइट? लेकिन अगर मैंने आपको दिया x स्क्वायर प्लस एक्स वाई प्लस 6x स्क्वायर y इज इक्वल टू y क्यूब, और मैंने बोला अब इसको x के टर्म्स में लिखो, तो आप इसको x के टर्म्स में नहीं लिख पाओगे, राइट? ये हमेशा ऐसे ही कुछ अजीबोगरीब x और y इंटरमिंगल्ड रहेंगे. इसको इम्प्लिसिट फंक्शन बोलते हैं और इसको एक्सप्लिसिट फंक्शन बोलते हैं. ये एक्सप्लिसिट है, ये इम्प्लिसिट है. मैंने कुछ नहीं किया है. एक मिनट. ये लो संपन्न कर लिया।
There was a question, y is equal to sin x into sin 2x.
भी पढ़ो ना लेक्चर, साइंस आया ना आपके पास। हाँ तो sin x into sin 2x, there is a clever way of doing it. There is an easy way of doing it. The clever way of doing it, convert sin x into sin 2x into sin 2x, and the easy way of doing it is to refactor. चलो मैंने होमवर्क दे दिया है, सबको बाई नाइट, और दिखाने सर आज में कि नहीं आया सर, लग रहा है। टीना मैम आपको होस्ट बनाना है।
हाँ जी सर, बना